Alright, quit eating. We're on the podcast.
What, just ASMR?
Yes, hurry up. Welcome back, everybody. This is a podcast where we eat during the podcast. We show no love or affection towards the podcast. How do you feel?
Like I want to eat more.
Carl is a abuser of food. She constantly eats food like it's nothing.
You're an abuser of women.
Oh my god. Oh, that's not true at all. I've never even touched a girl.
That's sad.
What?
You haven't touched a girl.
So Carl is eating Oreos right now. Looks like I'm going to have to do the intro by myself.
Hello, guys, I'm here.
Welcome back to another episode of Young and Opinionated, the podcast where we stall. Even after canceling 6 of these, we're now back twice. But we have no worries because we're going to pull this off incredibly. So one of the first things we want to talk about is my review, or our review of the new game we have, Kirby, the Forgotten Land. Believe it or not, we have gotten Pokemon Legends Arceus long time ago, and we still haven't played it. We've played
We've also gotten Legend of Zelda.
Breath of the Wild, but we played Kirby before any of those, and I love Kirby. It's really fun. I like the whole 3D aspect. Finally done for Kirby. I think it's long overdue. He got the Super Mario 3D World vibes to it, and it's just very nostalgic for me, personally for me, because I grew up playing Kirby more than anything for when it came to like handheld gaming. I'm not old enough to have been born when the Game Boy came out, but I was poor enough to not be able to afford anything else but an old Game Boy. I had 2 Game Boys and multiple Kirby games, and they're really fun. And now playing it in my Switch, it's really cool because there's a lot of old characters that I remember. What do you think of the game?
It is the light of my life. It is the only reason why I wake up each morning and go to sleep each night, just to have energy to play this game. And I will play this game until my dying breaths.
It's a really fun game for 2 people as well. Before, Carl had to just look at me play, but now she can play alongside me as a Waddle Dee, which is hilarious.
I'm the bandana Waddle Dee.
I'm Kirby, because I'm always the main guy, and then she has to be this bandana Waddle Dee that looks really funny. My question is, where's King Dedede?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Because, like, these are his people, right?
Yeah. We haven't played that deep into it yet, but I haven't seen a trace of King Dedede, and it's very concerning because, as far as I can recall, he is the king of the Waddle Dees.
You see, the closest thing I've had to any King Dedede is the hammer, but that wasn't even his. That was some other creature's, so I'm in the dark here, man. I need King Dedede in my life.
So we're going to be playing it and hopefully finishing it someday, and we'll review it fully when we do finish it. But I think this is one of the best games for the Switch, and it has difficulty settings. So if you have like little tiny baby brothers or sisters that want to play, they could probably play. Or if you're a true real gamer like me, there's more difficulty, so you can like...
There's wild mode, and then there's not wild mode.
We play wild mode.
We do, and this is why we've spent like 30 minutes trying to find a Waddle Dee in the mall going crazy.
Yes. So let's move on. Have you heard of this one story? It's not the most recent one, but a kindergarten student brings alcohol to school, and he proceeds to share it with the kids, leading to like a couple kids getting drunk in kindergarten. How do you feel upon just hearing that?
Gen Z's lost.
That's not Gen Z.
What is that?
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha's gone. Gen Alpha. Our generation's end here.
Well, apparently the kid thought it was like a juice or something from their parents, but it was actually alcohol. It was like advertised in this little bottle that looked like a juice bottle. How would you feel if you were one of the parents of one of the kids that got alcohol and got drunk?
What the man? I was trying to keep my kid clean for like about 10 more years. Why? How? Why would you let this happen, school? How did you let this happen? What happened to no sharing? Where's the COVID?
You know the rule of you can't have it in class unless you're going to share with the rest of the class?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that rule came back to bite them in the butt. Who do you blame? The parents, the children, or the alcohol company?
I would blame the alcohol company, but I mean, it has to be the parents, because like they're just producing alcohol. The parents are the one who kept it, who bought it, and then kept it in a child's reach.
I think all alcohol related stuff should like try its best to look like alcohol. Like alcohol is very bad for you. So I would hope that maybe someday beer companies, all of them, just make their beer or alcohol beverages look scary to a kid. Like make it glass, make it like dark, make it put a skull there if you have to.
What if the kid's into that?
Oh shoot. Well, they're gonna die.
Exactly.
Oh well.
Just keep the beer or alcohol or anything out of the child's reach.
Put it in this one world we call up.
Exactly. Just up.
Up. They will not be able to reach. Thank me later. If I was a parent, I'd blame the school for letting this slide. Because alcohol does have a scent to it that I'd imagine you can pick up with your nose. Unless, I don't have a good smell, but I know everybody's not like me. Everybody else does have a good smell.
Well, it depends on the type of alcohol. And, like, you can't even say if it was strong or not, because, like, they're kindergartners and they're, like, not meant to be drinking. I don't know about you, but when I was in kindergarten, I was still painting with my hands. Like, just slapping paint on paper.
Dad said that when he was a baby in Mexico, he was like 4 months or something, they would like give him sips of alcohol, of beer. How do you feel?
That's why he's the way he is now.
Oh my god. And that's a normal thing in Mexico, man. Babies get beer instead of milk in their little tiny things.
Does it look like we're in Mexico right now?
No.
Exactly.
So who do you sue?
The school. Or the parent.
Because people are trying to sue right now, but they don't know where to go. Who do we sue?
Both.
The lesson here is keep your alcohol away from kids.
Yep.
How would you feel if you were the parent of the kid who took the alcohol to school?
Reassessed my need, put him up to an orphanage.
Oh my god, whoa, what? Jesus, man.
Realized that this whole parenting thing isn't really cut out for me. Just, drop him in an orphanage, be like, hey, yo, get him real parents, and then leave. Go across the country, change my name, get a new identity, all the vibes.
What a deadbeat, man. Man, you suck as a parent. If I was a parent, I would let them have everything they want. Yeah, I'd let them try alcohol. And then it would suck for them. Because as a kid, I'd imagine it doesn't taste good. I'd make them fear alcohol. I'd want them to be afraid of it.
You see, that could go horrible in so many ways. They could be like, actually, this is really good.
Alright, maybe I wouldn't do that to a kid. I don't know how to handle the situation. I'd probably just give him a slap on the wrist and tell him if he doesn't stop, he's going to end up in the electric chair or something. Poor kids, poor parents, and poorer school.
So apparently if you give a 7-year-old alcohol, it could be like dangerous poison for them. Because it depresses the central nervous system and causes low blood glucose. Children who drink alcohol can have seizures and coma. They could even die. Apparently the drunkest country is Australia.
Well, just because of its size. But if it was to people, probably Ireland.
Yes, 100%. Have you seen? They have a national holiday of how much do they drink.
So I was thinking about this the other day, about how we all went to Zoom and online class for like a year or two. It was pretty miserable for most of us, but it was also an eye opener for a lot of other people, or just some people didn't mind at all. What are some Zoom stories that you have as a student? What are some Zoom stories you have of going to class or just using Zoom in general?
We all had our cameras off. We were all muted. We all just wanted to, in short words, die. I guess one Zoom story is that during my civics class, she taught the whole lesson while on mute.
Oh man, no.
And we were just there, and we were like, and she was like, "Why didn't any of you say something?" And we are like, "Miss Ma'am, we chatted it in the chat. It is not our fault. You never saw it." What other stories? I don't have many. I'm not that I remember, at least.
What the heck do you used to do during Zoom? You personally, then?
Sit there, look, and probably be on YouTube, watching videos, or listening to music or drawing.
My God.
Or maybe I wouldn't show up to class.
Carl's Zoom was horrible. I remember being like okay with Zoom, but Carl would literally get complaints from teachers like, she did not show up, she is not paying attention, she's failing, she's not doing good.
Hey, look, for all my teachers who thought I was going to be a failure this year, screw you. I have A's and B's.
It was crazy. All the entire year of Zoom, they were like, she's not going to pass. She is not doing good. And then somehow in the FSA, she just passed all the FSAs, just swept them clean. And then all the teachers are left like, what?
Just knocked them in their legs. I got fives and fours.
Jesus. I literally tried my whole best the whole year because I knew I was going to bomb the FSAs. And I got 2s and 3s for the FSAs, even though I did good for the whole year.
Bro, I'm terrified. I know I'm not ready for the science EOC tomorrow. I'm 100% gonna fail it.
Carl has a science EOC. I told her you can't do worse than me. I got a D.
It's plausible. I can get a F.
I told her that I passed with a D, and she told me that's failing, apparently.
Well, that's like skimming the rim.
Look, man, I don't have high standards for myself, so that D was very, very good for me. I'm very proud of that. We only had one charger for the laptop, and Carl would use her laptop after, like, school hours for non-school things, like YouTube videos, or she was just drawing her stuff. But my laptop always was charged, and she would always have to come into the room and just take it. But then I would have to go to wherever she was and then take it back because my laptop was dying because the battery sucked. That whole year of Zoom, our couch got the most use ever because I was always in our room on the couch just sitting there with my feet up and my laptop in my lap. And Carl was either in the living room or in our parents' room. One time I remember I was in the bathroom. Oh, God. One time I remember I was in the bathroom on Zoom. I took the whole laptop in there because I really had to go. And I didn't want to ask. How do you ask in Zoom? Like, hey, can I go to the bathroom? Like, I don't know. Can you? It's out of my power.
That's out of my power.
You're at home. I'm not there. So I took the whole laptop. And then it came time. I was like finishing up in the bathroom. And then it came time to, like, I don't know. I think I had to, like, answer a question or something. And the teacher really was on our butts about showing her face for whenever we answered the question. So then I had to, like, quickly just finish up, and then I sat on the ground and used the background of the bathroom walls and just, like, sat there and I crisscross applesauce and just answered. Zoom literally felt like modern day segregation. They'd literally treat us completely different.
No,
They'd
yeah.
call us the Zoom kids. They wouldn't refer to us as regular students. They'd just call us, oh yeah, kids on Zoom. Do whatever. I hate you all.
Right? They like we were hated so much. And like they for me they would call us the Zoomies, the weird kids, the stay at home kids, the too ill kids, the afraid of COVID kids, the strange kids.
Yeah, they freaking give us nicknames, and my teachers would make fun of us. I think one of my substitutes that I used to have for Zoom literally was like peer pressuring the Zoom kids to like come back. They were like, you could get a lot more help if you came to school. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I can't. It's not my fault my mom won't let me go back. I wanted to go back real bad because all my friends were back, but I was still in my anti-vax phase, and I hadn't been vlogging, so I didn't have a reason to take the vaccine. And Carl just, I don't know, why didn't you go to school?
Because I was also not vaccinated yet. Because you weren't getting vaccinated. And I was just kind of like coaching with you the whole way. And then one day I was like, you know what? This is actually, I should just get the vaccine. And so I did. And then a week later you were like, that's good vlog content.
Oh yeah, I made like 4 videos out of us getting the vaccine. Carl's first time, Carl's second time, my first time, and then my second time.
Bro, you had such a cool second time doctor. He like posed and everything with
Yeah,
me.
he posed for the thumbnail. It was awesome.
I remember one time, I don't know why, I was just chilling there. Because I was actually in the room for once. I don't know where you were. But apparently you like took the day off or something. Because I was just chilling in the room existing. And I was like in third period and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go brush my teeth. And so I did. I just completely left the room, left my laptop here, and went to brush my teeth.
Oh my god.
And when I came back, nothing had happened, and I was like, okay, all right then. Continue on with my life. Something amazing could have happened. Something life-changing could have happened, and I was brushing my teeth. Oh my god, it happened so many times where we'd just be left alone, us Zoom kids, because the internet would crash, or the teacher would just like disconnect somehow and we'd just be left there. And one time I was left alone with this one other student and we just kind of we actually talked to each other via chat, but we actually talked. And we were like, oh, I like your profile. I like yours too. Oh my god. And then the teacher was like, guys, this is not a flirting area.
Oh gosh.
Of course,
Shoot.
I know he was joking because he's just a funny guy like that, but I was like, oh my god, sir, I feel called out. I even have the picture because I found it really funny.
Have you ever reconnected with this person?
No.
No.
Which is very sad. But this has also happened. You guys went to go grab food and you just gave it to me.
Oh yeah, that was such a normal thing to do. Grab like we would go out quickly and get McDonald's or something since we live so near it, and just bring it back to eat during Zoom. It was the best. That was the best thing about Zoom. Just eating good food whenever I wanted to eat good food.
It was so good.
Another thing I remember, I have this really bad tendency of using the bathroom, and I literally hate using the bathroom. I hate eating because it just takes up so much time. It shouldn't take up this much time. It doesn't take up this much time for a normal human. Like the normal Joe will take like 5 minutes in the bathroom, eat his meal in like 10 minutes. But I take so long. I could take up to half an hour in the bathroom. And I remember going to the bathroom with like 10 minutes of class left for my history class during Zoom, and then I realized it was not going to be a good trip in the bathroom. Have you ever had that type of bathroom experience where you just have to take off your clothes because it's just so intense? I was literally there just sitting there sweating and just so much pressure was going on. I was like, I'm going to be late to my next class. My teacher's going to ask what's wrong with me. I'm not going to be there because I'm still here. It was awful, man. I literally couldn't do anything. And I ended up being late to my other class for like 10 minutes because I spent 20 minutes just sitting there. And I'm pretty sure you could hear my screams. I was like, ugh! And you know, it was one of those, man. So if you ever did have Zoom, I hope you always took in your laptop everywhere you went. That was probably the worst experience ever I've had on Zoom. Just being late, feeling that pressure, and just sitting naked on the toilet. This is Carl's exact conversation with the teacher who caught Carl and her friend flirting in the chat. They said hello. Carl said yo. And then they said, I like your profile pic. And then the teacher came in and said, okay, honestly, save the flirting for after school and not here on Teams. And then Carl responded, I like yours too.
Because I do.
Oh yeah, you guys use Teams. There's also Teams.
Yo.
I never used Teams in my entire life. I only use Zoom. I always found Teams very confusing.
Teams actually is far more easier than Zoom. I like Teams more. It was great.
Man, screw Teams. So for anybody who had Zoom, I hope you can relate. And if you still have Zoom, I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you have a incredible disease that doesn't let you go to school. And if you do, I hope you get better. So right now we're watching the Batman movie. We're not going to review it right now because we haven't completed watching it. It's really good so far, but we have to finish it off. But there is one upcoming film piece of footage that is very interesting and has a very special place in my heart that I would love to view on the day it comes out. May 26th, a very special day, the highly anticipated, teased a long time ago but never released a long time ago, Xxxtentacion's documentary Look at Me, coming out May 26th. I remember when this documentary was teased years ago, and I was like, yes, I like this, but they never did it. I couldn't believe it. I still had hope for the documentary like 2 years ago. I was like, guys, they're gonna drop it. They have to. But no. Juice WRLD's documentary dropped before X's. But finally, Xxxtentacion is gonna have his documentary. And it's gonna depict, from what I've heard, it's gonna depict the difference between Xxxtentacion and Jose Onfroy. It's gonna be like a deep look into X's career and life as well, because he did have a very troubled life. It was a very, unfortunately, he lived not the best life as a kid, which led him to do some really bad decisions. But it's also gonna show the good side of how he was redeeming himself and everything. This documentary will be available on Hulu. Luckily, I have Hulu. I bought the subscription during Black Friday or Christmas, I think it was. It was like 99 cents per month for a whole year. Really good deal. And I can't wait to see it. I'd love to see it. It's very emotional whenever you see someone who's gone. Like when you see a music video of like an artist or a celebrity or someone that you looked up to that's no longer here. It's a very weird feeling. And with this documentary, I'm still waiting for the Juice WRLD X collab that was teased like 2 months ago. I wonder where it is. Guys, did we remember about this? Is this gonna be treated like the documentary teased a couple years ago?
4 years later, we finally get it.
Do you know what an above ground burial thing is called?
No. A mausoleum.
Read what a mausoleum is
A large building that provides above ground entombment for human remains. A mausoleum crypt space is one space for the placement of one's casketed remains.
So, X has one of these. He has a really nice one. And I'm always on Reddit just looking at how people are like, man, one day I'm gonna go pay my respects. And some people are like, I live in Germany, so there's little to no chance of me ever going. We do have the advantage of being here in Florida, It's by Miami, somewhere down there in Boca, but like an hour away from Miami, up north, I think it was. But I do hope one day we can go to Miami, and then I can just change our directions last minute and just.
Sorry, guys, we're making a detour.
It's like 3 hours away. I'd like to go visit it. There's always people there, so you might just find someone else who just like traveled the country just to be there. I'm gonna be like, hey man,
I traveled the state.
I traveled the state, man, to come down here. Carl is already crying. Don't cry. So I think we're gonna end it off here in the podcast. We're gonna record another one probably tomorrow because we really have to make another one before the end of the week. I'll leave you off with the words of wisdom. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from enemies. It comes from those you trust the most. Xxxtentacion.
Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer.
But in this case, not even your enemies might be the ones out to get you.
Not even your enemies can be as cruel as your friends.
And with that, we're signing off. Goodbye. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Young and Opinionated.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. Goodbye, everybody.
We're forced to do these.
What?
I said we love to do these.